If you're planning to take the PMP exam in 2026 and feeling confused about PMBOK versions, possible exam changes, or how to study the right way, make sure you watch this video until the end. In this video, I'll share a clear and practical strategy for preparing for the current PMP exam, the one that will remain valid until July 2026. No noise, no panic, just a focused approach to help you understand how PMI thinks and how to prepare with confidence to pass the exam. Let's get started. If you're new here, I am Sabri C, the founder of casePM Academy and Land of Management Academy. I teach the best-selling online PMP exam prep course Zero to PMP, and through this course, thousands of students around the world have successfully passed their PMP exams. Alright, before we go any further, let me clarify one very important point. This video is specifically for those of us who are planning to take the current PMP exam, the one that will remain valid until July 2026. Everything I'll talk about here is based on this exam and this structure. I will of course create a separate video around July 2026 to cover the new version of the exam. Just subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. But for now, in this video, we are focusing only on the current PMP exam, so we can prepare with clarity, confidence, and without any unnecessary confusion. First, let's clear up the biggest source of stress I keep seeing everywhere. Yes, PMBOK 8 has been released, but no, this does not change the current PMP exam. PMI does not update the PMP exam every time a new PMBOK guide is published. The PMP exam simply does not work that way. So if you're planning to take the exam before July 2026, relax. You are preparing for the same PMP exam that candidates are passing right now. Nothing suddenly changed overnight. Many candidates think the exam is directly tied to PMBOK version numbers, but that's a misunderstanding. PMBOK guides, whether it's PMBOK 6, 7 or 8, are just reference materials. They support the exam by explaining concepts and approaches, but they are not the exam syllabus. PMI uses these guides to help us understand project management, not to redesign the PMP exam each time a new guide is released. Once we understand this, a lot of unnecessary anxiety disappears, and we can focus our energy on preparing smartly instead of worrying about version numbers. But if the PMP exam is not based solely on the PMBOK guide, then what actually drives the current PMP exam? This is exactly where many candidates get confused. The PMP exam is driven by something called the PMP exam content outline, or simply the ECO. This is the document that clearly defines what PMI expects us to know and, more importantly, how they expect us to think during the exam. You can download the ECO directly from PMI's website, and everything in the exam is mapped back to this document. My online Zero to PMP course is fully based on the current ECO, which means you can confidently use it to prepare for the current PMP exam without any hesitation. Just to reassure you, we will update the course in July 2026 in line with the new ECO. So even if you sign up for the course now and plan to take the exam after that date, don't worry, you will continue to have access to the updated content for free and you won't be left behind. Now, let's talk about the right way to study for the current PMP exam, because this is really the heart of the whole video. If you want to pass the exam, and I know you do, the very first thing you need to focus on is the PMI mindset. Before jumping into details, formulas, or even agile concepts, we need to understand how PMI expects a project manager to think. This mindset is about being proactive, collaborative, and ethical, and always focusing on delivering value, not just completing tasks or following steps. To help with this, I've created a set of videos where I explain this mindset clearly and practically. I call them my golden tips for passing the PMP exam. These tips are designed to help you start thinking the way PMI wants you to think during the exam. I've shared the link to these videos below, so make sure you watch them. They play a huge role in building a strong foundation and preparing for the exam the right way. So, once the PMI mindset is clear, the next step is to build a solid foundation in predictive fundamentals. This means understanding the logic behind scope, schedule, cost, risk, quality, and procurement. The goal here is not to memorize processes. Instead, we want to understand how these areas are connected and how a decision made in one area can directly impact the others. When we study predictive project management this way, everything starts to make sense. We stop seeing topics as isolated pieces and start seeing the big picture, which is exactly how PMI expects us to think during the exam. After that, we study agile and hybrid concepts. We need to be comfortable with things like scrum roles, servant leadership, adaptive planning, and incremental delivery. PMI expects us to know when a predictive approach makes sense and when an agile or hybrid approach is the better choice. Finally, after you have built the mindset and covered the concepts, it's time to focus heavily on practice questions. And this is where many candidates really make the difference. You should solve as many situational questions as you can, ideally from different sources. Not definition questions, but real exam style scenarios where you are asked what to do next or what the best action would be as a project manager. Each question helps train your thinking. Every new scenario forces you to apply the mindset, the processes, and the logic all at once. The more high quality questions you solve, the more natural PMP thinking becomes. This is one of the key factors in passing the exam with confidence. Before jumping to outside sources, I strongly recommend solving all the questions in my course first. Yes, there are hundreds of them. These questions are designed in the same mindset and logic we build throughout the course, so they are the best training ground to lock everything in. Once you finish them, then we can take the next step and use PMI's study hall exams as an extra layer of practice to simulate the real exam experience. But here is the most important part. Pay special attention to your wrong answers. When you answer a question incorrectly, don't just move on. Take the time to clearly understand why your answer was wrong and why the correct option is better. This is critical because once you understand the reasoning, you are far less likely to make the same mistake again when a similar scenario appears in the actual exam. Now, from time to time, some of my students ask whether they need to read the PMBOK guide to pass the PMP exam. Well, if you are enrolled in my course, the answer is simple. You do not need to read the PMBOK guide to pass the exam. The course already includes everything you need, structured and explained in an exam-focused way. That said, if you have extra time, you can use the PMBOK guides for review purposes. After completing the course, reading PMBOK 6, 7, and Agile Practice Guide can help reinforce what you've already learned and see the concepts from PMI's original perspective. However, be realistic. Reading 3 full guides takes a significant amount of time. So if your time is limited, don't waste it trying to read all of them cover to cover. In that case, your time is much better spent reviewing course content and practicing high quality exam questions. Now, let's look at some very common mistakes I see candidates make when preparing for the current PMP exam. One big mistake is studying the PMBOK guide line by line as if it were a novel. The PMBOK is not meant to be read cover to cover for memorization. So instead of trying to memorize every page, use it selectively to support and review concepts you have already learned. Another common mistake is ignoring Agile, especially for those of us coming from a strong predictive or traditional project management background. Agile and hybrid are already part of the exam. In fact, based on feedback from students who recently took the exam, more than 60% of the questions are Agile or hybrid related. So, avoiding these topics will almost certainly hurt your exam performance. Some candidates also spend a lot of time memorizing EDOs. I'll say just one thing here. Don't do this. By EDOs, we mean inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs of the processes. They are useful for understanding the logic of how a process works and how information flows from one process to another, but they are not meant to be memorized like a checklist. The exam almost never asks us to recall EDO lists. Instead, it tests whether we truly understand how these inputs, tools and techniques and outputs come together and are used in real project scenarios. And finally, taking full mock exams too early is another trap. Without a solid mindset and a strong foundation, mock exams can become frustrating and even misleading rather than helpful. So make sure you build the mindset and core understanding first and then use mock exams as a final readiness check, not as a starting point. So the current PMP exam is stable. It is well understood, and with the right approach, it is absolutely passable. So you don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to study endlessly. What matters is starting now, studying consistently, and always focusing on the PMI mindset rather than memorization. If you prepare the right way, PMI will not surprise you. And when you walk into that exam, you'll feel confident, not because you memorize everything, but because you know how to think like a project manager.